Perfect night here in Guatemala City. Our second game of a Group E doubleheader. And Guatemala and Antigua and Barbuda will both try to match what Haiti did earlier tonight as we take a look at the Group E standings. Haiti with a convincing win over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They top the group on 3 points for now. We'll have our procession. Both teams will come out. We have to mention as well, of course, after the tragic events yesterday in Guatemala that saw a bus crash into a ravine, at least 50 perished in the crash. After these scenes here, there is going to be a moment of silence before the national anthems are played. And then, of course, we will have the lineups and the kickoff after that. We'll lead the procession. The boys get out there. And then afterwards, we will have a moment of silence and we'll add our thoughts and prayers to all who perished yesterday in the tragic events here in Guatemala. We'll step aside for a moment.
Damas y caballeros, a continuación se hará un minuto de silencio en memoria de las víctimas de la tragedia del día de ayer en la ciudad de Guatemala. Damas y caballeros, les pedimos ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Antigua y Barbuda. A continuación, escucharemos el himno nacional de Guatemala.
Guatemala, feliz que tus alas no profanen jamás el verdugo. Y haya esclavos que llaman el yugo, ni tiranos que escupan tu paz. Si mañana tus sueños
A wonderful rendition of both countries' national anthems. Guatemala is a healing country. At the moment, they are trying to get past the tragic events that we mentioned earlier in the bus crash yesterday where many perished. You could see the passion and some heavy hearts, not just amongst the players, but amongst the coaching staff and the fans and, well, everybody really inside the Estadio, Cementos, Progreso in Guatemala City, and much further beyond that as well. Again, we send our thoughts and prayers to the victims and their families. Let's get into the starting lineups for both teams. We begin with the Group E hosts, Guatemala, under the tutelage of Rigoberto Gomez. Robert Mejia, Julio Ramos, and the captain, Marvin Avila, all players to watch in the attacking third tonight. Gabriel Fuentes and Francisco Guzman key in the midfield. Alan Fernandez gets the starting goal for Guatemala tonight. Shaquille Joquil of Suriname is the leader of our four-man officiating crew. He'll be in the center of the park. And again, there is no video assistant referee at these qualifiers. Well, for Auckland, Jarvis, and Antigua and Barbuda, it's a chance to get the upper hand in the group tonight. That's what they'll be playing for, but it'll be an uphill battle against an inspired and a very talented Guatemalan side here on their home patch. Again, the two captains meet in the center. Vaughn Jackson has the captain's armband on for Antigua and Barbuda. And Auckland Jarvis will be hoping that his team can play with plenty of passion tonight as well. Again, both teams trying to catch Haiti, who are currently at the top of the group. Starting 11 looks like this for Antigua and Barbuda. Greg Williams and Marco Michael, players to watch in the attack. Jackson captains the side in the middle of the midfield along with Samuel Brazier. Cody Richardson and Najante Wijnaldum will be key cogs in the middle of that defense. It's Gavin Gonsalves who will get the start between the sticks tonight for Antigua and Barbuda. Well, Antigua and Barbuda will be in their red kits. They'll have the black trim. Guatemala are in white from head to toe with the blue numerals and a little hint of blue splash in those kits as well. Fans still filing in here in Guatemala City, hoping to see a victory that could help uplift not just the local community, but an entire country after a very difficult day yesterday. Well, we will see how Guatemala gets on in this one today. They're expected to do very well in this group, if not win it. So we'll see if they can get off to what would be the perfect start for them. Looks like Antigua and Barbuda will be kicking us off. They'll be going from right to left as our final game of the night in Group E is set to go. Again, Shot St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you back here with us. Haiti were 5-0 winners earlier against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so they're currently the group pace setters. And one of these two teams has a very good chance to, at a bare minimum, join them at the top. Antigua and Barbuda get us started, and we are underway from Guatemala City. Can Guatemala manage all of the emotions? It's already a lot of pressure-packed moments for a game with such significance surrounding it. Of course, with everything that happened yesterday and the heavy hearts all around the nation, will they be able to handle such a difficult bit of circumstances? They'll look to play inspired. They'll look to play with even more passion than we're accustomed to seeing from them here tonight. And for Antigua and Barbuda, they have quite the job on their hands as well. Can they keep up with a Guatemalan side that has plenty of attacking prowess? Could be a chance here in these early stages. Andres Garcia picks it up, and it's cleared out for an early corner inside of a minute. No, very, very fast start Looks like it's going to be Francisco Guzman to take it. Rigoberto Gomez and company hoping for a dream start. Here comes the ball from Guzman. He goes near post, it's well covered, but the header is popped up into the air, and now Antigua and Barbuda are able to clear it. And then as they were about to counterattack, a coming together, we'll see a free kick. Oh, and a yellow card comes out. First challenge of note, and I believe that's Greg Williams, who's given a booking. We get another look at this here. Well, it was high, but you could make the argument that Greg Williams did not mean to do that. Especially for the first challenge of the game, maybe just a little bit harsh from the referee there, but a yellow card it is. You can understand the sentiments from the referee as far as where the contact was made, but Greg Williams, at least based on what we saw, didn't seem to have that intent. Guatemala go right back to work in the attacking third here. Garcia's ball across is headed away. Well, again, as our game kicks off, a couple other games kick off as well. Game between Canada and Anguilla just went to halftime. Canada are 4-0 up and cruising at the moment. Costa Rica and the British Virgin Islands also very much underway as well. So we'll be keeping you up to date on those games as we get towards the end of another match day at the Concacaf Men's Under-17 qualifiers here. Of course, not to worry, there's going to be, of course, 8 more games tomorrow. So plenty of action throughout a vast majority of the remainder of the week here. It's going to be clipped forward by Samuel Camacho. No room to operate, though, for Guatemala. They go all the way back to Alan Fernandez, who gets the start in goal. Early ball into the penalty area, and on the layoff, it's skied over the top. What a chance from Francisco Guzman. But he is not able to hit the target. Great work by Garcia, just putting it into the mix. Felt kindly for Marvin Avila. And it was a brilliant layoff, but Guzman just could not keep his shot down. Now Auckland Jarvis and his side catch a break. But they are already under heavy fire in these opening 5 minutes. Great ball to the far side, and there's runners queuing up! And the shot is missed on the doorstep. Well, the captain, Marvin Avila, what a moment that would have been if he had gotten his shot right. Got another brilliant ball. Mejia played it across, and 2 players queuing up could not get it right. So unlucky. And again, Antigua and Barbuda given a warning sign there. It was Mejia and Avila involved, and actually Ramos with the delivery. But no one could get enough on it to redirect it, and it was right there to be touched home. Well, quite a few teams have gotten off to dream starts at these qualifiers, the hosts in particular, the random groups, of course. And my goodness, Guatemala nearly scored twice in the first 5 minutes. Rigoberto Gomez is going to be encouraged by the beginning of this game. Guatemala have not wasted any time. And now Avila holds up the play. Too many red shirts. And Antigua and Barbuda do get it away from him, but they cannot hold on to the possession. It runs just out of play before Silence Maniaca can move it further up the other end. Decent ball down the line. Well shepherded out of play by Cody Richardson. Robert Mejia was the target, and it is out for a throw to Guatemala. Well, from the throw, Guatemala have to work their way out of this near side corner. Fulgar plays it back to Celis. Fulgar's ball in is a searching one. It's nudged away. And Antigua and Barbuda have a chance to get away on this far side with Samuel Brazier. And he is not able to pick out a teammate. Good centering pass, however. The move has not quite been dealt with yet. And on the turn, the shot is skewed in there. And it does go out for a corner. Wow, really good turn in the middle of a bit of traffic there. That was the captain, Vaughn Jackson, doing really well. The shot was blocked. And Fernandez would have had it covered, but it did bounce past him and out for a corner. Well, Brazier did a really good job getting that whole move started, and credit Antigua and Barbuda. They never gave up on the play there. And the captain, Jackson, wins a corner here. From the corner, ooh, it actually went over Fernandez's head, but it does go out of play. No chance for a secondary action there, as Jaden Brown was not able to save it. Now, when they can, goalkeepers are told, especially when they're not being marked in situations like that, to go up and measure it to get the ball, because of moments like that where Jaden Brown, in this case, was right behind him, ready to pounce on an opportunity. Unfortunately, for Antigua and Barbuda, he was not able to keep the ball in play. So Guatemala are able to get away with that one. Anytime a goalkeeper is not able to get the ball in that situation, who knows what could happen next. Here's side, Fulgar. Laid off for Fuentes, and Fuentes is snuffed out. No opportunity there to really move it forward. However, Guatemala quickly retrieved possession. Of course, we talked about Haiti being a winner earlier today, and they weren't the only ones. Barbados, Curacao, Mexico, and Guyana, all winners as well, as Avila is offside. All of those teams, by the way, and Canada's currently doing this as well, every single one of them kept a clean sheet as well along the way. We have not had a game yet today where both teams involved have scored a goal. Very intriguing how sometimes those trends just appear from time to time. Had a couple of really close games today as well. We mentioned earlier in our first game, Barbados only beat Dominica by 1-0. Curacao beat Turks and Caicos by 2-0, and Belize gave Mexico a tough battle. Mexico only managed 3 goals in their win earlier today, and of course they scored 8 on match day 1. Still time to change that, of course. There's still 3 games going on before we get to the end of tonight's proceedings. And look ahead to another full slate of games from around multiple groups tomorrow. That's clipped out to the far side. Oh, and it was a good first touch as well, but the offside flag is up. And Antigua and Barbuda will regain possession with a free kick. Oh, another look. Wow, that was very tight. We did not get the definitive angle, of course, on that. You have to remember that we don't always have the best view. But I will say, Guatemala maybe had a little bit of a case there. Doesn't end up going their way. Oh, lovely turn by Maniaca, and he is brought down. That's going to be a free kick. And Gabriel Fuentes, I think they just flashed him up on the screen there. Had a bit of a kit malfunction. There's the tug by Fulgar. Well, a set piece. Antigua and Barbuda going to pick somebody out. Marco Michaels, free kick. Oh, and the goalkeeper had to make that catch. There was someone just behind him. And Fernandez does corral it. Gorgeous switch of play. Onto the far side, Antigua and Barbuda have the response. So for now, it just becomes a throw. Fulgard, early ball down the line. Mejia, it's off a ricochet, and the header is skied over again. Marvin Avila again was in the right place, but again, his header is missed inside the 6. Now the captain is crestfallen here. The goal was gaping. Antigua and Barbuda were beaten there. There was nobody back between the sticks that was going to get there in time, but Avila cannot get it on target. And that's the 3rd big early miss. And once again, Antigua and Barbuda emerge, for now at least, unscathed. And the ball out to the far side there is going to trickle out of play. Intended for Samuel Abrazier, who was having a nice start to the half. Well, this is a part where you would think Antigua and Barbuda need to take advantage here. Guatemala have had some missed opportunities. Can Antigua and Barbuda capitalize and maybe grab the lead for themselves? It feels like a big early juncture already in this Group E fixture. But here comes Guatemala again. Another chance! Oh, it's off the frame! How unlucky is Francisco Guzman? Rattles the frame. Avila's Travella cross is going to be headed away by Michael. Volley comes back in. It ricochets around, and Antigua and Barbuda clear it. Well, Guatemala cannot get much closer without scoring. That's the 4th big chance they have not been able to bury. But it's not going to deter them. They come forward again. Lovely ball slipped through, and a good save by Gonzalez. It's clipped back across, headed to the outskirts of the penalty area. Guatemala still surging forward here. Can they break through? It's gonna be a full recycle back to Camacho. I think the net was still shaking after that shot just crushed up against the bar. Antigua and Barbuda trying to move it up the other end, but Guatemala readying their next wave of attack. It's been an avalanche of chances from the hosts here, but still the scoreline remains unchanged. Guatemala City faithful pushing their hosts forward here, pushing the boys ahead. Can Antigua and Barbuda hold on? They have a chance here to break up the other end. This is Jackson. And Jackson will clip it to the far side. Brazier will keep this in. And then he's gonna run out of room. He was doubled up. And Guatemala get the possession back. And we revisit the Guzman attempt. Tight angle. Oh. And he hits the frame flush. Avila, great strike, but Gonçalves saves it. And these fans nearly blew the roof off the place. But it's 2 Antigua and Barbuda stops in the end, particularly that second save. The first one, of course, they were aided by the frame. And now Menyaka to the near side. Can Antigua and Barbuda capitalize on this? The cross is going to be wayward, and it's going to go out of play. Well, it's a goal kick and at least a chance for Antigua and Barbuda to catch their breath. Already a few players lied out. Auckland Jarvis's team has had to go through the ringer in these first 19 minutes, and Jaden Brown is in some discomfort. It's going to take so much effort for Antigua and Barbuda to hold Guatemala out. You could just see how the chances are piling up for the hosts here. I think we've had 5 or 6 big opportunities at the start of this match, and no goals, unfortunately. On the man that you just saw there, we briefly saw him earlier, Luis Tena. Of course, is the Guatemala senior head coach taking this one in. He's done a wonderful job with the senior men's national team, Luis Tena. He really has. And he's looking at one of the next generations right now of Guatemalan players, and I'm sure he's already encouraged. 20 really good minutes, everything but the goal for Guatemala. Fulgar, early ball in behind. It's cleared out for another throw. In the corner, Guzman is going to run out of room, and it was actually off of him last. The assistant gives the throw in back to Antigua and Barbuda on the near side. Wow, wonderful switch of play by Vaughn Jackson. That worked out. And he continues his run as the ball is slotted into the penalty area. And then on the turn, it's a little bit of a loose touch from Greg Williams. And Guatemala, given a bit of a warning there, emerged with possession through Camacho. Well, the captain, Vaughn Jackson, has really showed well. in these opening 21 minutes and change. Did have a shot earlier, and then that was a gorgeous switch of play onto the far side. Really opened up the Guatemalan defense. Fulgar. Guatemala again, it's a deluge for the most of this first half. But can they break through? Ramos down the line. Fulgar. First time ball in, not the best of clearances. And on the outskirts, it's a volleyed attempt that soars over the top off the boot of Gabriel Fuentes. Well, it did sit up pretty nicely for Gabriel Fuentes, but technique was not quite where it needed to be. In this place, you can hear the fans on almost every touch. The Guatemalan supporters here, they are gonna go nuts if Guatemala can find the goal here. They are just ready to explode. Ramos down the line. And Ramos continued his run. It's a give and go. Ramos across! Avila! Saved by Gonçalves! And on the follow-up, it's blocked away by Michael. Marvin Avila is somehow thwarted again. Gavin Gonçalves with his second massive save of the half. And another beautiful ball out to the far side for Garcia. Garcia goes on and scores! At long last, the breakthrough from Andres Garcia. Guatemala have the lead, and it's a goal that the entire country will be rejoicing over. Lovely cutback, and Garcia slides it through to give Guatemala a richly deserved lead with just 24 minutes gone. It was only a matter of time. Garcia for Guatemala for their first goal of these qualifiers. It was chance after chance. It was just about who was going to break through. And Andres Garcia is the one who puts his name up in lights after such a difficult day for the country yesterday. They've been in mourning. Today, they get a little glimmer of hope from one of their youngsters. And again, it's nothing less than what Guatemala deserve here. Antigua and Barbuda now have to find a response. They get a volley off there. But again, Camacho controls for the hosts here. Oh, we told you the roof might come off. Incredible, jubilant celebrations here after the Garcia goal. And it was a really well-taken goal at that. That ball bounces back through, ricochets, and Gonçalves, who did so well to keep Guatemala out. will control after one finally gets through. But it falls kindly here. This is Jackson. Jackson not on the same page with Greg Williams, and it's won back by Guatemala. Garcia. Ooh, the challenge came in, and it goes out for a corner on the far side. Corner will be taken by Francisco Guzman, and it's cleared at that near post by Brazier. Camacho. Fulgar. A little give and go in there. Brown gives it away. Avila keeps it alive. Still going. His pass for Fulgar takes him to the near side. Mejia, no options, forced to go back. And now Mejia is available. First time ball is hit high into the air. Great touch by Avila. And on the layoff. Another cutback here. Garcia again. Again, Guatemala building through. It's a recycle. Out to the far side, this is Ramos. Guatemala patiently building again towards another attack. Camacho settles it down just a tick. Fuentes. And Fulgar. Camacho and company have to be careful. They get it back to Fernandez, who just about settles everybody down. Quich. Early ball down the line by Fulgar. Mejia hurdles a challenge. Mejia looks for a teammate, and it's just past Garcia, who is not going to be able to keep it in play. Oh, what an early ball that was. Down the near side, it was all flowing for Mejia. But his cross left a little bit to be desired over Avila and over Garcia, the goal scorer, just out of their reach. But Guatemala win the ball right back. And another early ball comes in. This one's over everybody's head. Far side, Wijnaldum. And then a challenge comes in there. Free kick after good hold up there by Marco Michael to give his side a little bit of a reprieve here. It has been a siege of attacks from Guatemala in this first half. The goal from Andres Garcia was finally that breakthrough moment for the hosts. I've been looking for a reason to smile over these last 24 hours. That's what sports can do in some of the darkest hours, provide a little bit of a respite, a little bit of hope, and just a bit of joy sometimes as well. Let's look at the heavy hit there. Menyaka needs a bit of a time to reprieve himself as well. Little break. to recover. Well, we do have updates from the two other live games that are going on right now. Since we last told you about where Canada have stood, they now have added another. I think they've actually added two. They're up 6-0 on Anguilla. 18 minutes left in that one. And 31 minutes in Costa Rica, it is the Ticos who have jumped out in front against the British Virgin Islands. It's a 1-0 scoreline there. If Costa Rica win that game, they will be top of the group in Group B all by themselves, and then Trinidad and Tobago and the British Virgin Islands will be firmly behind the 8 ball with still a few match days left in that group. So a chance there for Costa Rica to take firm control over the group that they're hosting. Another chance here for Guatemala, and they'll settle for a throw as it ricochets out of play. Goal from Andres Garcia has Guatemala ahead in this Group E opener for both teams. Both teams, of course, are trying to track down Haiti, who are still first in the live table. Antigua and Barbuda do well to get that away. Fans making sure that Camacho knows that he wasn't alone in chasing that ball down. And then it is a poor challenge by Michael, it looks like. Michael will get a talking to, no card. Oh my goodness, Michael actually puts his hands on the shoulders of Fuentes. Well, if that is just a talking to, then I can't imagine that Michael's going to be allowed to get away with another challenge like that. Referees have done well to try to give the teams some leniency when it comes to cards in these qualifiers. Guatemala could be in behind here. And another searching ball across the face of goal goes untouched. Fulgar back across, and the volley is in! Well, this man had missed a couple of big chances earlier, but it's a captain's goal from Marvin Avila to double the delight for Guatemala here in Guatemala City. It's 2-0. Well, it fell ever so kindly for Avila. He had 2 or 3 point-blank chances earlier that he missed, had hands on his head. Well, his hands will be up to the sky now. He converts, and Guatemala double their lead. Well, the hosts are starting to get some rewards for what's been a very dominant half. And they have a 2-0 lead now with 10 minutes left in the first half. First Garcia, now Avila. And the captain, he had a couple of really good opportunities earlier. He was so frustrated with himself that he didn't score earlier. Well, he more than makes amends there with the finish. That is going to be kept in play by Garcia. And Garcia cross, and the volley by Mejia is over the top and out. Well, great work, Garcia. Rides the challenge, stays with it, puts in a beauty of a cross. Mejia unmarked, And he did everything but score, just couldn't keep it down. I think that's the 4th or 5th chance, other than the goals, where Guatemala think, how did we not score that? It's all part of what's been a dominant first half. Another ball played over the top. Gonçalves will watch it go out. There's been a few chances for Antigua Barbuda up the other end, but a large majority of the first half has been one-way traffic. It has been Guatemala moving and shaking it up the other end, and they've got 2 goals for all of their hard work so far. Fulgar stood up, but is going to be having to settle for a throw here. Heavy challenge by Jackson, who's been the bright spot for Antigua Barbuda in what otherwise has been a very tough half. Ball took a high bounce. There was a foul in there. A little bit of a reprieve for Antigua and Barbuda. There was the high bounce as it came down. A little nudge from Guzman. And the visitors will get the free kick. A lovely ball by Gonçalves. And then Jackson is fouled. That gives Antigua Barbuda a late set-piece opportunity here. About 6 minutes still to go in the half. There's still enough time where Antigua Barbuda, if they could get a goal back, could really finish the half strong here. Looks like Jackson will take it. Oh, referee saw something he didn't like inside the penalty area. Wants to see that come to an end. Jackson has a short option, or he could send it towards the penalty area. He's going to go for goal! And Fernandez parries it out. Well, that was not far away and actually looked like it was going to strike the frame. It's actually a very good strike by Jackson. And it's a good thing Fernandez was ready for that. It leads to a corner. Can Antigua and Barbuda have the deficit here? Marco Michael will take. Oh, and more pushing and shoving inside the penalty area here. That time, I think it was Camacho and Brown who got tangled up, and both ended up on the ground. Referee is certainly not thrilled with that. Well, the conference is over. Michael's turn to deliver. And he goes to the back stick. Oh, and the goalkeeper had a little bit of trouble with it, but Fernandez, we talked about earlier how he didn't have the corner covered earlier in the half. This time, he is able to get there. Although he may have picked up an injury in the process there. He's going to try and fight through it for now. Well, we haven't had to make this point yet, but pretty much every team we've seen so far does have 2 reserve goalkeepers in case something does go awry as far as an injury or a sending off is concerned. So there are plenty of reserves in that regard for most of the countries, if not all, competing in this tournament. Guatemala and Antigua and Barbuda, of course, are no exceptions there. Ooh, and that touch is going to get away. And out it goes. Throw in, going the other end. Avila not quite able to handle the pass that was made to him out wide. Ooh, ended up being a foul throw, I think. Well, that's a bit wasteful. I think we've seen now 2 foul throws in these qualifiers. That's as good as a turnover. Camacho switching the point of the attack. And in the end, the ball does go out of play, just out of the reach of Julio Ramos. Oh, that's a giveaway. And the shot is missed. Oh. Well, I was about to say how huge of a chance that was. And Francisco Guzman, who's also come close multiple times, shaking his head, wondering how he didn't score this. Picked Michael's pocket, and my goodness, just had to pick a side, but he put it too far wide. Guatemala could have had 4 or 5 very easily, but have not quite been able to put this away. Jackson, meanwhile, leading Antigua and Barbuda up the other end, and it's kept in play on the far side. Cross back into the middle is dealt with, and Guatemala are going to regain possession. Oh, Matthew Kiewicz and Javier Solis making sure that nothing awry happened there. Again, good response back up the other end, but no shot from Antigua and Barbuda anywhere near the target, let alone a goal. I'm about to see how much stoppage time we're going to have at the end of what's been a really good half from Guatemala, though one will feel they've left a few goals on the table. The battle will rage on into the corner here. Throw-in is the outcome. Oh, there we have it, 3 added minutes at the end of the half. Still time for Guatemala to really assert their dominance here. Although they'll lose possession on this occasion. And there is a player down for Antigua and Barbuda. Again, the goals for Guatemala from Andres Garcia and from Marvin Avila. And this man's team, my goodness, have been under siege for most of the half. They're trying everything they can to hang around here. Wonderful support here in Guatemala City, as we anticipated. And their team have delivered 2 goals to them. As we get down to the final minute and a half of the half. Maybe a little bit more for the injury, we'll see. Of course, after the halftime whistle, we will have a little break, then we'll have highlights. And then we will, of course, get you started and set up for the second half before our coverage tonight comes to a close. Avila. Still time for another attack here. Oh, it's a lovely ball in behind. Gonçalves with the stop. Got there just in time. Not quite cleared yet, still work to do, and Michael gives it away. Another ball feathered through, and Gonçalves is standing on his head. He gets there again. And his outlet is looking for Jackson. It's cleared away by Camacho. Still time for another attack. Guatemala will settle for a throw. Fulgar. Likely the final seconds of the half here. Camacho. Out wide from Fuentes. Referee had a little peek at the watch. This will likely be the last move of the half. And there's a trip. It's a free kick. And it would appear that there's just enough time left to take it. Another look. Oh, it's Michael again. Another clumsy challenge from him. Has to be careful. Not on a booking, but just have to tread a bit more lightly than that. This set piece will likely be the last move of the half, with Guatemala in search of a commanding third goal. Guzman and Fuentes stand over it. Can Guatemala finish with a flourish? The shot is rainbowed over the top and out. And that will end the half in Guatemala City. Well, Guatemala, as advertised in the first 45 minutes, goals from Garcia and Avila leading the way. Although I must say, they could have had a few more. Lots of missed opportunities, and that's the reason Antigua and Barbuda are hanging around here at halftime. The visitors had a couple of chances, some half chances. The best plays of the half for them came from their captain, Vaughn Jackson, who was really a bright spot. But it's Guatemala in control of proceedings here at the half. They lead by 2-0. We'll step aside for now. Highlights coming up in just a moment. Second half underway here in Guatemala City. Sean St. Jacques and our entire crew, happy to have you back here with us. No changes for either side, and Guatemala look to build on a 2-0 lead thanks to goals from Andres Garcia and Marvin Avila, the captain. Have the host in charge for now. It's still a big 45 minutes to go. Of course, this is a bit of a milestone game in a lot of ways in these qualifiers, as Guatemala have a nice give and go here. But the offside flag is up, and Gonçalves had it covered anyway. The reason we say that is because these were the last two teams who hadn't played a game yet at the tournament, heading into tonight's action, and now everyone's been in part of at least one game. And again, we've got a full 8-game slate tomorrow after these final few games finish up tonight. Still a lot to be played out in tonight's action. One of those games, I believe, has just gone final. That was Canada taking care of Anguilla. They win by 8-0. Auckland Jarvis looks on here, the Antigua Barbuda head coach. Only other game going on besides our game is Costa Rica taking on the British Virgin Islands. Big game there. And Costa Rica have a 2-0 lead as well going into the start of the second half. Ball down the line by Garcia. Salis wins a throw. Fuentes touched into the penalty area. Clipped in by Ramos and headed clear. And it'll go out for a throw. Again, the one thing we talked about from the first half was that Guatemala is certainly worthy of their 2-0 lead, but they could have had quite a few more. We looked through some of those missed opportunities in the halftime highlights. Given Antigua Barbuda a sliver of hope here going into the second half. And Vaughn Jackson and company mount a comeback attempt. Challenge from Garcia. And Antigua and Barbuda have a free kick going from left to right here in the second half. Look, it was a poor touch, and Garcia tried to make amends and ended up doubling down on his mistake. From the free kick. It's really well placed. Oh, and it just sailed over the head in the end of Cody Richardson, who made a great run to the back stick, and there was just a little too much air underneath it. If Richardson had a chance to redirect that, my goodness, Antigua and Barbuda would have had a real opportunity there. Guatemala trying to continue this move forward. It's not definitively cleared. Lovely touch here by Avila. And Avila goes on, but runs out of room right at the end. captain gets closed down, and it's a goal kick. Ball played down the line by Brazier. It's slid out of play for a throw-in. Decent passage of play as far as holding on to possession for Antigua and Barbuda until the pass up ahead, looking for Marco Michael. Guatemala get the ball back. 2-0, it does still feel like the next goal will have a lot of weight into how this one turns out. Remember, Guatemala in the live table still in second place on goal differential. That's because Haiti, in our first game today, took care of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They won by 5-0. So Guatemala would have to score at least 5 to be top of the table, without reply, of course. Anything less than that, and Haiti will have the advantage here in Group E after match day 1. Albeit only on a tiebreaker. Again, this group reconvenes in 2 days' time. Haiti will take on Antigua and Barbuda, and Guatemala will get a crack at St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who will need to win that game to stay alive. And again, only the top team advances out of each group. Off the takeaway here. Guatemala still looking for that killer third goal. Garcia lays it off, and it's a long-range shot by Celis. It goes flying over the top and out. He is asking for more and more from his team. They know that they're not out of this yet. That's the one big positive from the first half, other than the good play from Vaughn Jackson, I might add, is that Auckland Jarvis's team stayed in the game. Could have gotten away from them. But they're still hanging in with a puncher's chance, and they could get a chance here on the near side. This is Brazier. Brazier cuts it back, but his cross is blocked. Williams couldn't read it. And Guatemala have a chance to poke this ahead. Avila. Avila looking for support. Guzman is next to him, and he dribbles into a double team and is writhing in pain, but the referee says it was a clean challenge. In the end, it's a throw-in to Antigua and Barbuda, but Avila is down and in agony here. Ooh, tough to tell if that was a clean challenge, but Avila certainly got the worst of it. He certainly didn't take a tumble. He was put down in a heap on a harsh challenge. Rigoberto Gomez is not thrilled that the referee let that go. Now his captain is in need of some medical assistance here. Well, the fans here have been treated to 2 great goals. The whole country's needed some moments to take a bit of a breather from the bus tragedy, the accident that happened yesterday, and all the people that perished in in that bus crash, and we had a moment of silence for that before the game kicked off. And Guatemalan players are human. It certainly, I'm sure, weighed on their minds before kickoff here, but they've given their fellow countrymen and women something to cheer about here, and that's a really, really big deal. It's a special thing to get to do. Antigua Barbuda, meanwhile, are looking for a response, and they're also asking the referee for a penalty here. The referee did exactly what he did up the other end, had a look at it, and said, nope, we move on. And Guatemala trying an incisive pass to this near side. It's blasted out of play. This was Vaughn Jackson. Was he fouled? Well, from that angle, there was contact from Camacho, it looked like, but the referee says not enough for a penalty. Guatemala come back up the other end. Lovely backheeled attempt, and then the cross is just about kept in on this near side. The attack continues. And the shot is saved by Gonçalves from Guzman. And then it's one back, but it's a very loose touch, and then a foul is going to end the sequence. Vila got right back to work, laid it off, and Guzman, who's already hit the bar in this game, sees his shot saved. Gonçalves saw that a bit late. And then Camacho commits the foul on Michael. You can tell there's still fight, there's still belief in this Antigua and Barbudan bunch. They still feel there is a pathway back. That's the man who leads them. Vaughn Jackson's done everything he can to try to provide a spark for his team. So far, it's been the Guatemalan players who are holding on to this lead, a lead they hope to extend at some point in the second half. But right now, it's Marco Michael who's getting worked on here. And now looks to be okay. They've needed a chance to smile, these Guatemalan supporters. Talked about it earlier, it's the power not just of sports, but of the beautiful game. It can be there when a city, or in this case a country, needs them. We're ticking down towards the hour mark here, and I have to say, Antigua and Barbuda are back on the attack and in search of a goal that could totally change the game here. And they'll get the throw in as well after another coming together. This time it's Seth Lane who got the worst of it. And Guatemala, meanwhile, are preparing a couple of changes, or at least they're talking it over. It did look like it was Iker Osorio and Orlando Rodriguez who we're getting a talking to, and maybe some prep notes from Rigoberto Gomez. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving, and then, well, Avila didn't mean to, but he put his shoulder right into the face of Lane, and that's why we have the stoppage here. Possible head injury. Score is still 2-0, meanwhile, between Costa Rica and the British Virgin Islands as Seth Lane goes through some concussion testing. Still haven't had a game yet today where we've had both teams score. Barbados, Curacao, Mexico, Guyana, Haiti, and Canada all won earlier today and all kept a clean sheet in their respective groups. Guatemala and Costa Rica on tap to do that again in the nightcap. And again, we have another full slate of 8 games tomorrow. It all kicks off with Grenada against the Dominican Republic, St. Martin against Puerto Rico after that, Cuba against the U.S. Virgin Islands, then the Cayman Islands against Jamaica, Aruba against Panama, Bonaire against Honduras, St. Kitts and Nevis against the United States, and then St. Lucia against El Salvador to finish off the night's proceedings. Off the turnover, it's Garcia. And Garcia gets away from the challenge. It's still Garcia. He lays it off, and the shot is blocked. It's out for a corner as Mejia was not able to get a clean look. Brilliant run from Andres Garcia. But again, there's no end product, and there's another player down for Antigua and Barbuda, and this is a real concern. The captain, Vaughn Jackson, needs some help. Jackson went down as the play was developing. Bottom right of your screen, and he is possibly cramping up here. The last thing Antigua and Barbuda need is for their captain to have to make way. Can Guatemala slam the door shut with a third goal here? Fuentes will stand over it. It's a high arcer, so high it goes over everybody's head. And Guatemala will settle for a throw as Guzman was able to track it down. Well, we talked about 2 changes. Here they come. For Guatemala, Guzman's actually going to exit here. Orlando Rodriguez will take his place. Iker Osorio is also going to come on, and Robert Mejia will exit. And those are the first 2 changes of the night for either side. Both players get a warm reception as they'll head out for the night. Iker Osorio was the last to trot on before the throw. Well, it's won back by Mendiaka, but given away right away. Ball is slipped through, and the cross from Ramos is going to be blocked out for another corner. Corner is taken short. Rodriguez to Fuentes. And it's blocked out for another throw-in. Fuentes for Rodriguez, who thinks better of it, and it's a full reset of the attack for Guatemala, coming down on the final 25 minutes here. Loose touch from Manyaka, and it is a giveaway. Rodriguez. Ramos is looking for it. Garcia tracks it down and shepherds it out for a throw. Rigoberto Gomez knows it's not comfortable yet. Got to get another goal or two to get to that point. 2-0, and it's still anyone's game. That is a credit to Antigua and Barbuda. They've rode their luck a little bit, but they've stayed in the game. Can they get back in the game? Is the question. Both goals from Garcia and Avila in the first half. Celis plays catch with Gonçalves. In the end, not the best of balls, especially the form that Gavin Gonçalves has been in tonight. It's going to take more than that to beat the goalkeeper. Lovely turn, little dink over the top. Flag stays down here. And it's gonna be Garcia. Garcia stays on his feet. And it's poked away from him. But kept alive by Ramos, or was it? The ball goes out of play. And Antigua and Barbuda, are gonna make 3 changes here. Brazier is going to come out. So is Marco Michael as well. And Manyaka. All are going to come out. Brendan Skilling, Sakiti Mead, and Brandon Satchel are all going to come on. We'll run that by you again in a second, as it's a triple change, a lot of moving parts here. Here are the 3 changes again. Brazier, Manyaka, and Michael all taken out. Brendan Skilling, Sakiti Mead, and Brandon Satchel all on for Antigua and Barbuda. And those are their first 3 changes of the night. That leaves Antigua and Barbuda with 2 remaining. Guatemala have 3 left.
Sale con el número 11, Silencio, y ingresa con el número 20, Brandon. Sale con el número 8, Marcos.
Well, Auckland Jarvis will hope that those changes can help get Antigua and Barbuda back to a fighting position for the points here. All 3 of the players were listed as midfield players. And some are in for that job, others are in to help the attack. And Jackson plays this across. It's gonna fall for a chance, and it's in! It's the substitute, Sakiti Mead, who just came on a second ago. That's why Auckland Jarvis made the changes. And Antigua and Barbuda, who were just hanging around, are right back in it. It's 2-1. Well, no question who was at the heart of it. Jackson's ball across was wonderful. A collision in the middle, and Mead mashes it in to give Antigua and Barbuda real hope. Williams couldn't get there, but it's Mead who cleans it up. And all of a sudden, it's a new game. 21 minutes left, and the visitors, incredibly, after weathering the storm for so long, are right back in it. Now, meanwhile, a couple of players, as the dust settled from that move, are dealing with some knocks here. Looked like it was Jackson. For Antigua and Barbuda is trying to fight through a cramp. And Joseph Fulgar for Guatemala was hobbling a bit as well. Well, we could be on now for a grandstand finish. 20 minutes left, and it's a 1-goal game. First time today that both teams involved in a match have scored. And to say that it's game back on again would be an understatement. Nice turn by Garcia. And he threads the needle for Fuentes. And Fuentes is dispossessed. And it's out for a throw-in. You can just sense the momentum shift. Antigua and Barbuda have a little bit more energy, a little bit more confidence, and most importantly, more belief. Well, one team I can tell you that's very happy, at least for now, with that goal going in, is Haiti, who are at the top of the group and now are in very good shape to stay there at the end of the night. Guatemala look to build again. We talked about how many missed chances Guatemala had. They could have been 4 or 5-0 up at the half. They only got 2, and now it's 2-1. Anyone's game down the stretch. Fuentes. Good reverse ball out to the far side. Guatemala moving it forward with Fulgar. Gets past a challenge. Ball into the penalty area is laid off. Little give and go, and it breaks down. And the clearance sends it out for a throw. Well, that was the substitute Osorio trying to move that ahead. Guatemala will make another change. Fuentes is out. Pablo Arias is going to take his place. That also leaves Guatemala now with just 2 alterations left as we get towards the final stages here in Guatemala City. Cross into the middle. Ooh, it was hanging around there. Chance for a follow-up, I should say. It pinballs around, but Antigua and Barbuda do get it away, and they could break here. Up the other end. Hold-up play is there. It's a foul and a free kick. And a yellow card for Orlando Rodriguez for halting the counterattack. Another look, just the yeoman's work there from Vaughn Jackson, who's been a real reason why his side are still in this. Him and Gavin Gonsalves, the goalkeeper, are a huge reason why this team hung around. And now they have a chance here to tie it. From the free kick, oh, there were some free heads at the back post. Players flying all over the place, but the ball is cleared. Maybe a chance to recycle the attack on this near side. Satchel played it ahead, but Guatemala emerged with the ball. Oh, you could feel the tension in the crowd here. It's not as comfortable as it was. Crowd trying to cheer Guatemala on. Getting towards crunch time here. Little dink over the top. And on the hold-up play, Avila lays it off. And the ball into the middle, bounces down, and Gonsalves is the first to get there. Where would they be without his contributions, particularly in the first half? He made a couple of big saves to keep it at 1-0 at the time and then 2-0. Antigua and Barbuda still have a chance to save something here with 15 minutes left. They were 2-0 down. It's now 2-1. And Guatemala will get the free kick, it looks like, and Vaughn Jackson again is struggling here. He's been trying to fight through cramp for about 15 or 20 minutes. Both teams do have 2 changes left, so if Auckland Jarvis feels necessary, he can go to his bench, but my goodness, you'd be taking off your most important player going into the most important minutes of the match. So that's a big call that Auckland Jarvis will have to make if he does bring him off. You can see by the faces of some of the supporters here, it's getting close to bite your nails time. As Jackson is looked after, we can give you an update from the other game going on right now. Costa Rica have taken complete command against the British Virgin Islands. They now have a 4-0 lead. That game is around the same point we're at, as both games are getting towards the final 10 minutes. Antigua and Barbuda have prepared a substitution here, which would indicate, again, we'll wait for confirmation, but that would lead you to believe that Vaughn Jackson is not able to continue here. And he might have to actually get stretchered off as well. That is so tough to see. Well, Vaughn Jackson has done so much good work for this Antigua and Barbudan side tonight. The captain's armband has been taken from him and put on the arm of Greg Williams. And that is going to be the end of Jackson's night. So tough to see that. Didn't deserve for it to end like that, that's for sure. They'll hope to have him back going forward. They'll need him in 2 days' time. And Adonai Lee Francis, he's going to take his place. One change left for the visitors after they have to take off their captain. Guatemala again, we're 2-0 up at the half. Goals from Garcia and Avila. Meade with the goal off the bench made it 2-1. And Guatemala in pursuit of a third goal are stopped. And Ramos' ball goes out of play. It's a goal kick. A little talking to there from the referee. That's because Orlando Rodriguez, had to double check that, was already booked earlier after coming on as a substitute. Well, it seemed like a run-of-the-mill foul, as this is going to bounce in towards Fernandez. That was not a run-of-the-mill foul because Orlando Rodriguez, with another yellow, would be sent off. So he has to tread a lot more lightly than that. That's exactly why the referee just had a quick chit-chat with him. Another move like that, and he would have been gone. Meanwhile, another ball played early down the near side. Guatemala try again. No touch needed. No touch gotten there, but now it's kept alive. Osorio for Ramos. Arias forced all the way back. Well, what is going to happen in the last 10 minutes here? Still on a knife edge. Can Guatemala hold on to the points? Or will Antigua and Barbuda snatch a point away? It's going to be a corner for the hosts here on the far side. Corner is placed into no man's land. But the cross back in falls kindly here. Avila blocked. And it's out for another corner. I think Avila may have slipped as he took this shot on. He did well just to give himself some space. And he did, he slipped as he let the shot go, and he was into traffic anyway. Avila again. And at the back stick, it's headed out of play. Both of the goal scorers getting opportunities there. Avila and then Andres Garcia. But both are not able to hit the target. Well, are Guatemala gonna rue all of these missed opportunities here? That is a giveaway. And Antigua and Barbuda will get the ball back only for a moment. They give it away again. Guatemala surging ahead. And there's enough numbers in red behind the ball to stop them. And the throw-in also goes Antigua and Barbuda's way. Ooh, a miscued clearance. Avila pushing it forward. Still Avila. And at the end, there's just one too many red shirts to get past. But it stays at this end off the clearance. Spare a thought for our audio mic there, but it's going to be a throw-in. And Guatemala will make another change here, their penultimate one of the night. Julio Ramos makes way. He actually just took a shot on this near side. Joel Enriquez is in. He's really in for defensive purposes here. Both teams have one change left, and actually Jaden Brown is now down for Antigua and Barbuda. Will Auckland Jarvis have to use his last change here, or can Brown continue on? Well, Brown's been a big reason why this has been tight in the second half, and Auckland Jarvis has no choice. He's going to take him out. He'll use his last change to bring on Marlon Peters, who's the last player he can bring on. That's it. Trying to continue to keep the defense shirt up in the second half. And Antigua and Barbuda are out of substitutions. Still feels like we could be in for one more twist or two in these final 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Costa Rica, meanwhile, have scored again. They now lead the British Virgin Islands 5-0, and they have certainly now taken complete control of Group B, that's for sure. Oh, that's a giveaway. But there's a slip in there. It's still with Antigua and Barbuda, who look to bring this up the other end. And Guatemala do win the ball back. Meade's goal back in the 69th minute has made this a totally different game in the second half. Guatemala had a chance to really put this game away earlier. They didn't. Can they get the killer goal late to finish off Antigua and Barbuda? That's a marauding run. And a ball needed down this far side. It's played in nicely. Satchel's ball across. He's going to be cleared out for a throw-in. Oh. Again, just needed a touch or someone to pick it up. Foul throw appeals come in. It's headed away by Guatemala, but not definitively cleared yet. Now it is, and Avila tried to pick his head up to lead the break, is forced to backtrack. Good switch of play onto this near side. This is Enriquez. And Enriquez with a wasteful ball played out of play. And it goes back to Antigua and Barbuda. Another check on the clock, 3 minutes of normal time left. Can Antigua and Barbuda complete an unlikely turnaround here? Or will Guatemala hold on to what they have? Another good ball played in behind here. And the first time ball across is just behind Garcia. Garcia tracks it down. Header is central. Avila couldn't control it. The volley is blocked away on the Enriquez attempt. Enriquez looks to battle for it and commits a foul. Gonçalves sends it ahead. Is there time left for some late drama in Guatemala City? Into the corner it goes. This is Williams. Williams holds it up brilliantly well, but Zidane Williams has his pocket picked. Avila lays it off for Celis. Back to Avila. Touched out for a corner as we approach the 90th minute. Oh, Guatemala brought on some defensive players, but they are trying to kill this off. And they take the corner quickly. Pin to the back stick. And over the head of Avila and out of play. And now we wait to see how much stoppage time there's going to be. Gonçalves was able to smash it upfield, got a little bit of a break as Garcia hit it out of play. All eyes are going to be on the fourth official in 30 seconds to see how much time there's going to be remaining. Good ball played centrally here, and it slipped in behind. Guatemala can seal it. Oh, it's out of the reach. Still not cleared yet. Enriquez. Back across. Good save, Gonçalves. And Antigua and Barbuda do clear it. Oh, that was the chance to seal it. And we're still on tap for 5 more minutes. Are we gonna have a late twist of fate? Enriquez up ahead. Celis. It falls kindly for Osorio. And Iker Osorio sends it wide of the target. Now another look. Great ball slipped in behind Avila, just out of the reach of Osorio. And then good job by Enriquez to pick up the pieces here, but there was no end product. And here comes Antigua Barbuda up the other end, but the ball is too far in front of the goal scorer, Mead. It's a wasted opportunity. Mead had time and space to work with, but the ball was too far out in front. He was never gonna get there. 4 minutes left. Great control by Osorio. Avila dashing towards the penalty area. It's on a plate! And Gonçalves again makes the stop. Incredible. Oh, the Estadio Cementos Progreso was shaking, thinking the chance had come, but Gavin Gonçalves was ice cool. Guatemala push forward again. Feels like the first 15 minutes all over again, but can they finish the deal? Celis sliding it through. Avila! It's a penalty. Marvin Avila was tripped up, and Guatemala will have a spot kick with a chance to clinch the points. The challenge came in from the substitute, Brendan Skilling. There is contact, and it is a penalty. Oh, so many chances for Guatemala to seal this. Fans on their feet here, hoping that this will be the moment to settle the issue. It appears that the captain, Marvin Avila, is going to be the one tasked with taking the all-important spot kick. There's going to be about a minute and a half left after he takes it. And he's going to go nose to nose with Gavin Gonçalves, who has one last chance to keep Antigua Barbuda in it. Both players have made such a positive impact on the game. This spot kick could decide the outcome. Everyone waited with bated breath. Marvin Avila slips, and the ball goes off the post. Gonçalves got a piece of it. Did that really just happen? Oh. You feel for Avila. At the vital moment, he just could not keep his footing. Gonçalves still almost missed it, but he kept it out with the aid of the post. Unbelievable. Look at this, Gonçalves actually misses it. It hits the post and somehow stays out. Well, sometimes the truth is just stranger than fiction. Guatemala still can hold on here despite the missed penalty. Fernandez up ahead, and it's headed out for another throw. Regardless of the outcome, Guatemala are gonna have to revisit some of these missed opportunities. We're getting close to double digits here. They've made it a lot more difficult for themselves down the stretch, but They still could finish this off. Ball's played out to the far side. First time ball in, Gonçalves again, incredible. He punches it away. Can Antigua and Barbuda steal the point up the other end? We've had the 5 minutes. Satchel wins a throw-in, but how much more time remains? It might have to be this moment here, the last chance. Guatemala will clear it, and Guatemala will win it. Well, they had to do it the hard way in the second half, but by the hair on their chinny chin chin, Guatemala win by 2-1, and they are now joint top of Group E. 2-1 is the final score. Credit to Antigua and Barbuda. They were much, much better in the second half. You feel for Marvin Avila. He had a chance to seal the deal. He'll be very frustrated with his missed penalty. But, and it's a big one, Guatemala still win. They still win, and that matters a lot in the group complexion. What it means is that they're still joint top of the group, 3 points along with Haiti. The downside is that because of Haiti's superior goal differential, Haiti are at the top of the group after match day 1, and to be fair, that's also a very, very big deal. Huge credit to both sides. That was an incredibly dramatic finish. Kudos to Guatemala for holding on, but a tip of the cap for Antigua and Barbuda. They were overrun at times in the first half. They nearly came back to snatch a point at the end. Incredible resolve from Auckland Jarvis's group. However, they do drop to third in the table, and they'll have to probably win out if they're going to have a chance to bounce back and stay alive for the top spot. Probably the most dramatic game we've had at these qualifiers so far. Well, the good news is as well, for the Guatemalan people, they needed a reason to have some hope and some positivity. Their team came through for them tonight in a 2-1 win. And now we get a chance to recap the full-time highlights here. It really was a heart-stopping finish to this one. The last 15 minutes had so many twists and turns in it, and somehow no goals during that period of time at the end of the game. The full story of the game began with a Guatemalan avalanche of chances at the start of this game. So many opportunities to grab that opening goal. Avila himself, and it'll hurt a little bit more even with the penalty, missed a few chances. So did Francisco Guzman, hitting the bar there. Avila again, denied by Gavin Gonçalves, the goalkeeper for Antigua and Barbuda, who at times stood on his head. But then Andres Garcia brought them out of their seats with the opening goal, cutting in field and slashing it past Gonçalves. That made it 1-0 in the early stages of the match. And then, well, Marvin Avila would score. His goal ends up being the winning goal of the game. Lovely volley, and the captain did come through in the end. And he was certainly crestfallen by the penalty, but in the grand scheme, he's your match winner in the end. More chances for Guatemala. Mejia had a real opportunity there, and there were others in that first half, but the door, we said it at halftime, slightly ajar going into the second half. Guzman again forcing the save out of Gonçalves, and then credit to Antigua and Barbuda here. They kept on fighting, and they'd get a goal back thanks to Sakiti Need. It was his first touch, if not one of his first touches, after coming off the bench. And he scored in the 69th minute to make it 2-1, and it certainly was game on again after that. And then, my goodness, twists and turns down the stretch of this one. Avila, this was a chance to win it earlier, but the shot was blocked away. Just heroic defending down the stretch for Antigua and Barbuda. Another ball flared into the penalty area by Osorio, just over the top. And then here, another ball by Avila across, just out of the reach of Osorio. And then Enriquez picked up the pieces, but the shot was saved by Gonzalez as Osorio took aim. Then the penalty and the slip and the near bobble at the very end. Just a wild ending. The penalty, of course, did not go in, but it ends up not mattering a ton as Guatemala hang on to the points. It does slightly impact goal differential, but all that matters right now is that Guatemala are on 3 points. They are level on points with Haiti, and of course they'll play each other in 2 match days' time. But for now, on goal differential, Haiti topped the group, followed by Guatemala, Antigua and Barbuda, and then St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What a finish to a very dramatic day here at the Concacaf Men's Under-17 qualifiers. For now, we'll say so long from Guatemala City, and we'll see you tomorrow for another 8-game slate. It finishes Guatemala 2, Antigua and Barbuda 1 after a big-time bunch of drama.